Chandraya Radhikaya il Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadvaktaye Namo Namaha Namaste Guru Devaya Sarvasiddhi Pradayine Sarvamagala Rupaya Sarvananda Vidayine. Radhe Radhe and welcome. Siddhi, Siddha, the perfection. Siddha speaks about a person who has achieved perfection, normally a name or title given to a saint. This word Siddha comes from the Sanskrit Siddh, and this word means to achieve a goal, a supreme goal. In Gaudiya Vaishnavism and in Vaishnavism in general, we are not looking for siddhis, for what is known as spiritual powers. It's well known that in some areas, in some sects of the Tantrism and other lines of spiritual and mysticism, some sadhakas, practitioners, are looking or working to achieve siddhis. Siddhis are, in other terms, mental powers or spiritual powers. Let's say to start flying, to have a remote vision, so I can be sitting here and I activate my siddhis and I can see what is happening right now in some specific part in New York, or in Germany, or in Jamaica, or in Chile, Australia, etc. So those siddhis are possible to achieve, and are a good number of siddhas, saints who can perform this kind of miracles, to say. The point of Gaudiya Vaishnavism never been and is not to achieve the siddhis, the spiritual powers, because the only goal of Gaudiya Vaishnav is to achieve the service to the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani. Therefore, siddhis are not part of the desires of a pure Vaishnav. But in terms to achieve the maximum spiritual perfection and mysticism, to achieve the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani, we should do a full training, practice, sadhana. And these sadhanas and the constant bhajan meditation, Shravanam, Kirtan, Shmaranam, the perfection of a Gaudiya Vaishnav or a Vaishnav will bring together a bunch of different elements. And some of those elements are the siddhis. Many extremely advanced Vaishnavas, due to their humble mind and boast of humility, they do not perform any kind of siddhis, but sometimes only out of kripa for the fallen souls, Kalijivas, they show some of this, because in this time humankind and the mind of people is, if I don't see, I don't believe, right? Then in terms of that, some siddhas, bhavas, some perfect mystics of Vaishnavism, they sometimes perform this kind of miracles to help that kind of fallen souls who will never believe that there is possible of spiritual life and God existence, etc. They perform this only to show that there is something more than what your two eyes that are made out of meat are seen. Then, for the benefit of Kali Jivas, siddhas are showing siddhis sometime, not like an spectacle, circus to catch money, donations, or to impact the population. Not for that. They are just looking for fame and money. The same that any kind of other materialistic person. So those are not considered siddhas, the ones who are doing the show of a yogi who has spiritual powers. That is just a clown, to say, at least, the least. But the real Vaishnava, the real mystics who are in doing bhajan alone for many hours every day, they just break their meditation only for taking shower, to do their necessities of the body, eating a little bit and this and that, and they keep the bhajan and meditation. Those kind of saints are called siddhas, the ones who are achieved perfection of the practice, and of course spiritual perfection. So all the powers are coming along with the perfection of spirituality. Why? Because the origin, the source of all the energies and powers, of course, is Krishna, right? So the perfection in Vaishnavism makes you be together, near or close to or in front of Krishna. You live with Krishna on a spiritual platform. Then if you are nearby Krishna, you get the same kind of spiritual powers, to say. Because it's the same that if you are nearby somebody who has flu, right? He's doing this next to you, if he has a virus or something, and in a few days you will catch the same, and you will have the same qualities of that person who is ill. The same if you are associating or you are related in relation with people who is materialistic, who has a materialistic mind. And by materialistic, don't take me wrong, I'm not talking about materialism as somebody who has some goals in life. This is no materialism, this is basic needs, and everybody needs home, work, something to earn money, etc. by legal ways, right? So that's okay. But by materialistic, I'm talking about people who want more only for having more. Some people have enough for them and for even they can share, but they don't share and they want more just because want more, right? So I'm talking about that kind of mindsets that are not looking for anything else than to achieve more and more. For what? God knows for what. So when we are in contact with people on that mindset, we start getting step by step into that mindset. It's the same. You can get the example, for example, just to say, if you start making friendship with people who like rock music, to say, you never heard to rock music, heavy metal, but you make friendship with a bunch of guys or women who like to heavy metal, to say. It's just a matter of time that you will start listening and liking a few songs of rock music, hard rock music. And you will end up listening to that music. Because everything is a frequency, is a vibration. Indeed, what we see, the colors, sounds, forms, and shapes, indeed are not exactly real. But they are some kind of frequency, to say, that we perceive in this material world with the sense of this body as what is it. But in reality, it's not that. It's something else. The only that is absolutely real is what is spiritual. All the things, all shapes and order in material world are not exactly real. Why? Because today that fruit looks like an apple. And if I show to you, you will say this is an apple. And I say it's an apple. You ask anybody, this is an apple. It's round, red color, right? And you cut in the middle, you open, and there is white, right? This is apple. Everybody said it's apple, right? But let's leave this apple in top of a table. Let's say we came back after 1 year. Will you find that red, round fruit? Sure not. You will find something strange, disgusting on top of the table. Or maybe you will find almost nothing. So where's the apple? It transformed itself, or the nature transform it to something else. So everything is mutating and changing in material life. Then we cannot take for granted that everything is what we see. There is much more that we don't see. Indeed, from the reality, over 70% is spiritual reality and 30% is about material reality. And we think, from a very neophyte point of view, that the material creation is almost everything, because everything is material. But this is a very small fragment of the real creation that is spiritual. However, the siddhas are showing their siddhis for the benefit of Kali Jivas. And Kali Jivas, the Jivas who are incarnate in Kali Yuga, sometimes has the chance to see this, and then out of that they will understand that there is something else, and all these material laws that we understand, gravity, time, everything, start falling apart. This is what happened in front of a siddha. These kind of things, in consciousness or unconsciousness, the siddha start moving these kind of things many times, and we can see what is called miracles. And we, of course, to find a real siddha is something very difficult to find. But once are there, your life will change forever. Or if you can investigate or to read about real siddhas, Vaishnavas, your life changed forever. And there, out of that, you can see that some devotee has an enormous level, spiritual level, because even the matter, the material forms and creation start glitching in front of her spiritual power. So this is no joke. Siddhas, they can do incredible things. There are stories of Sri Jagannath Das Bhai Maharaj. He was a siddha because he achieved perfection in his practice. He has darshan of Sri Gour Nitai directly. He saw them. In one of his meditation, this lila appeared, open. He was able to see the brothers. One of the most incredible siddhas that we had in the last times is Sri Radharaman Charan Das. So powerful that sometimes devotees were confused that if he was God or he was just a devotee who achieved perfection, or what is he, Shakti Avatar? His story is absolutely incredible. Folks, I recommend you to read his story. There is one book, it's called Life of Love, that was translated from the original to English by Kapoor. Ultra interesting. really. And there you will find so many miracles. Also, you can read the biography of Gauranga Das Babai Maharaj. That was not long ago here in this planet Earth, in this 2023. Not long ago, he left the body, and his level was also incredible. There are so many stories that you can read, biographies about some Babas. Now, one point that is quite important to really understand. For many of us who have been born in Western countries and we had education of Gaudiya Vaishnavism, many times we read in books sometimes things like siddhas are a lie or not true on this and that, and Vaishnav never wants siddhas, spiritual powers, mental powers, nothing like this. This is for tantrism and for bogus kind of mystics, yogis, right? We have this idea, and we have the idea that only these demoniac tantric Babajis or practitioners who do black magic and things like this, they will get some siddhis. Yeah. So we have some kind of brainwash from the beginning about think wrong about this topic. But the reality is that Siddha is a practitioner, in general terms, a practitioner who achieved the goal of his practice. For example, if your goal is to chant 64 rounds per day and you achieve, that is your Siddha, your Siddhi. You achieve this power of doing 64 rounds every day. So then, when you do 64 rounds, you will maybe put another tapa on top of you. That will be to do 64 rounds of japa meditation, that it will take you about 5 hours at least. For me, it takes about 5 hours. So at least you will take 5 hours. And you will say something like, for example, I will start doing meditation at 4:30 a.m. Brahma Muhurta, when the sun starts just coming, is a very powerful energy on earth. So you can start meditating there. And inside that time and space, Brahma Muhurta, there are many siddhas helping to other new practitioners are coming to help. So there are so many mysteries and interesting things. And you say, well, I will do this. And after 1 year, 2 years, your body get normal to wake up a bit before. So you take shower, you start meditating. Then so little by little, you start developing yourself until you get, without looking for anything, you just do for service. I will chant more mantra, Maha Mantra. I will be better. I will eat less to control my mind. I will put my mind in meditation more often, so on, so on, so on. And in one moment, without even thinking, you have siddhis. So who can say that this is wrong, really? Is this wrong? Because it's natural that your spiritual powers will open like a lotus flower. In one moment you are closed, but with the correct practice and leadership, with the correct guru, your practice will flourish like a flower. It will open. And it would open. The flower, of course, has a special perfume, beauty, colors that you didn't saw before. And these are your natural siddhis. If you do the practice with the intention of achieve siddhis, spiritual powers, to impress somebody, a lady in a bar, I promise you from here that it will never happen. And you will have to start imagining that you are developing something. then it will turn into some kind of a schizophrenic idea that you have, some messianic idea. I have superpowers like Jesus. That is ridiculous. This is nothing that Vaishnava really wants. Vaishnava only wants seva to Radharani, Radheshyam, Radha Krishna. Das anudas, to be the servant of my Guru, or servant of Srimati Radharani, Krishna. Depends of the bhav that you are trying to achieve, developing, or the bhav that you have already. There is the term in Vrindavan, Radhakund, etc., Varshana, Siddha Mahatma. It means a practitioner who achieved the perfection, or a soul who is perfect. You can achieve perfection from sadhana, or you can be perfect from the very beginning as a soul. But this is another topic. I hope you enjoy these minutes speaking about Siddha, Siddhi, and Siddha Mahatmas, Bhakti Yoga. Jai Jai Shri Radheshyam. Remember to subscribe, like, share. If you want more, leave your comments. Thanks for listening. See you in the next. Jai Jai Shri Radheshyam.